I'm not going to lie, my favourite thing about this episode was Sam the dog. Sam the dog for the win, as the kids would say. This week's episode guest was Nicola Buckley. Here's a clip.
We're just carrying a lot of emotion. We're carrying a lot of trauma in our bodies. We're carrying a lot of grief from things that might have happened or people that might have been really ill and their lives have changed as a result. We're carrying all of that with us, and everything that we gave for so long through that period that is actually really, we're still carrying a lot of it with us.
So this was another podcasty swapsy-doo between Nicola and Wendy. Wendy was on her show and Nicola repaid the favour. So what did Wendy make of the conversation? Let's find out.
I got to know Nicola by being a guest on her podcast, Females on Fire, I think it's called. And I found it quite interesting because she's what I would call a suit. You know, she's corporate, and yet she's found her way. So she's not so much a suit, but that's her background. And she clearly, can I say this? She's got the balls to walk into a boardroom in a suit and trainers, right? And know that she's not going to be judged, because what she looks like is not why she's there. And why she's there is to be able to tease out and reason to the solutions of everybody working together and achieving the goals of a business. And she specifically works in the main with females because that's been her journey. Mm. I find that fascinating, how we can all set out on a path and do something and be really, really good at something, and then curveball hits and we're rock bottom. We go through a process of misery, grieving, finding ourselves again. And whatever helps us on that journey to be the better person or to come out the other side ourselves, you know, and being enough, which is what Nicola talks about, we tend to lean into switching up the how we help and serve people to embody that as well. And what other guests have we seen do that recently? Tommy Breedlove. Who else has done that? Mike Pagan. Who else has done that, Neil? Come on, help me out.
Oh, good Lord. I mean, from 89, 90 episodes now, it's it's a real deep recess I got to reach to.
Going back to the first episode, Paula Senior at the YMCA.
Yeah.
You know, what she talked about. Taz Thornton, having to suppress her true identity and getting to the point where she just wanted to smash her car into a tree. She woke up to that scenario and now helps people in other things. Stella, you know, she's a woman of colour and she stands up for that and now goes into countries that wouldn't necessarily have accepted her colour before. So there's a certain amount of championing that we find in our guests when they're talking about those conversations that count, is that they've found their why. And that's kind of what I got from Nicola when she talked about Sam, her dog. I talk about Maud a little bit. She's an old girl with arthritis now. So, yeah, I would do absolutely anything for her, even if she's having a bad day and doesn't want to go for a walk. Because I love her. It's that unconditional love of our animals that we also need to apply to ourselves.
Which is exactly the conversation that counted for Nicola. And I think that's it. Obviously, that's resonated with you as well. And you can totally understand that sort of that perspective. And like you touching on the guests, you know, you talk about carbon footprint. I mean, our guests are leaving an impact footprint, which is amazing because they're doing things with purpose and leaving. They're trailblazing, which is incredible. No wonder you're up for an award, Wendy Wu.
Oh, stop it.
There we are. And if you're not yet following, if you've stumbled across this content by chance, get following the podcast in your favorite podcast app. In Apple Podcasts, it's really simple. Hit the 3 dots and click follow. In Spotify, you can't miss it. It's that big button there, marked follow. On Thursday, we're back with the ladies again, this time with Catherine.